Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I am here at SMTA Guadalajara 2024, and I'm on the booth of Stentech, talking to Brent Nolan. Brent, great to chat to you. I wanted to start with a quick introduction to Stentech, and then I wanted to get into a couple of the products, particularly the one that you've won a couple of awards for recently.
Sure.
So give me a quick intro.
So Stentech is North American based. We're focused on North American manufacturing and supporting the EMS market generally. We do outside of that, we also have semiconductor support and other, but I would say our focus is North American SMT. We're really focused on technology and stencils, tooling and parts,
Okay.
right, across the board. Stencils in general, and what we're going to talk about today, the market is so segmented that it's very hard. You know, a guy buys a laser, puts it in a place, and he's in the business. But there's so many problems that need to be solved in our industry.
Yeah.
And so our real focus is, and our really one of our core values is, we need to be able to solve problems, right? So, we are the largest in North America, but it's really about the girth to have the resource to go and be able to do that, because it costs money.
And the technology to be able to
So that is our focus.
Yeah.
We have 18 facilities across Canada, US, and Mexico.
Wow.
We have roughly 330 people.
Yep.
90 of them are engineers.
Okay.
So we're the core of our business is about solving problems.
Yeah, and it's listening to the customer and getting those, understanding those problems and solving them. And I think what's fascinating is we've known for a long time that screen printing is where most of the problems start.
Yeah.
So resolving those is important. Tell me a little bit about BluePrint, the new product. You got a Mexico Technology Award, but you also got the Circuits Assembly NPI Award.
Yes, absolutely, and the same award in the U.S. So, again, solving problems, and I was part of the development of really the first polymer coating that came out, and which was a great advancement, right? I mean, okay, we can get more volume. And it's a ceramic polymer coating.
Yeah.
And then we moved to what we have now, advanced nano, which is modified silica.
Yeah.
So that we could thermally cure it, right? Where the customer basically, yes, it's great, but I need it faster.
You need it faster.
So we developed that. But at the end of the day, they're very susceptible to the harshness of the assembly process, the cleaning process, and everything else. So what we saw is, they're great. They would start out, but then you would start to see the CPK and degradation of the product. So we really started looking at what's next. And so we focused on, ion sputtering, vapor deposition, really taking a solid metal and reassembling it onto the stencil. And that's what BluePrint is.
Yeah.
It's roughly about 97% metal.
Okay.
And it's done in a vacuum, high heat, so the purity of the substrate is done. It's fully automated. There's no process to manage. And not only that, the thickness of it was always an issue, right? You have to make modifications in CAD and things. So the old polymer coatings are roughly 3 to 5 microns.
Yeah.
This is 200 nanometers.
Wow.
Right? So it's 1,000 times thinner.
Yeah.
And
does that mean you can successfully put it on the inside edges of the aperture as well as on the surface of the stencil?
That's the other. So the way that all of the polymers are done, and we've gone through, ultrasonic spray heads and all the other stuff, but an aperture or the aspect ratio, you're always going to get a taper, right? If you're spraying a liquid, you can spray, but it's always going to taper down, which was, and the thicker the metal, the greater the taper. This is assembled, it's self-assembled, and so the surface thickness, the knee, and all the way to the bottom of the aperture is the exact same thickness, which makes a difference for consistency and everything else. The hardness of this is roughly 9 times the hardness of Teflon.
Wow.
It's very hard, right?
Yeah.
It was developed, the material that we're applying was developed for downhole drilling.
Right.
So I figured,
Yeah, pretty robust.
We're going to the center of the earth with this, so it should be okay on a stencil.
It should be good. Yeah.
We launched roughly 2.5 months ago with this product. We've been serving the semiconductor, and our customers there obviously went through a long process to qualify, and the robustness of it through all of their harsh processes never degraded.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
You got a product that works.
It works. So let's figure out how to put it on the SMT stencil, which we've done. And like I said, we launched. Customers are getting the product in their hand, seeing the difference in not just the performance of that, but the longevity.
Yeah.
And the CPK numbers just don't change.
Yeah. And that's great. And these days they're getting that real-time feedback from the SPI system.
Yes.
They can see exactly what the performance is. They could see that degradation they were having before. If you can reduce those clean cycles and reduce the time for replacement sensors, it makes a big difference.
Like you were saying, we all know what the problems are, but nobody's like stepping forward to solve them. And so that is our core focus. We have a group that does nothing but innovation and progress.
Yeah, and that's why you've got a third of your team or more than a third of your team are engineers.
Yes.
Brent, it's a great product. It's an interesting business. We're here in Mexico. The Mexican market is important in the Americas at the moment. In CapEx, it's probably 50 or 60% of what goes on in North America. How is that in terms of stencils? A similar level of?
Yes, I would. So in North America, it's MPI. We know every new MPI project is going to lead to multiple revisions before it gets to limited rate and goes through the gates. We'll consume on a new product anywhere from 6 to 12 stencils. So that it's a dynamically different. They may be printing 3, right? And that's it.
And that's it because they need a new
in the Mexico market, it's different. It's production. There is some MPI that's happening here now, which is good, but most of it's production. So this product really resonates with that group here in Mexico. So it's a good market. We love it. We love participating in it and helping solve some of the problems.
Yeah, Brent, congratulations on the product. Congratulations on the award. And thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.